Thank you. Oh, hi, friends. Well, I'm gonna bury my talk. It's here somewhere. How has your holiday been? Yeah? Did everybody have a really good one?
Staying home.
Interesting. Stay home.
No.
Lots of flow. What else? What other words come to your mind when you think about your weekend?
No agenda.
No agenda. My agenda is finding all my pages. I'm missing one. I'm missing page one. Where'd it go?
Checking my phone. Is this yours?
That's what we. Martha actually already did my talk with her songs, so I don't really need to do anything. My weekend, Abby, how would we describe our weekend? Fun. What it was filled with, what did we went to, so this is my 11-year-old guru. You've heard me talk about her before. You'll have to tell her what you learned about what I said about her because I'm not gonna repeat it again, but it was pretty profound. I traded Poppy. You all met Poppy over the last couple of weeks. I traded her family dog for her, and I got the better end of the deal, I'm gonna tell you. We've been having a lot of fun, and I think the most fun part is just being in town yesterday in Mendocino for the parade. Anybody go to the parade? No, nobody went to the parade? Oh, we had so much fun. But not only did we have friends that were there, but we also had family. So my aunt and uncle that live here came and found us, and another aunt and uncle, and my cousin and his wife, and their daughter and her husband. It was super fun, and I found myself laughing. I found myself laughing. Now, for those of you that are visiting, I'm a recent widow, so laughing isn't something I've been doing a lot of lately. But I had a lot of fun, and I was watching a video of my cousin's dog who was being silly. Ask me about it later, I'll show it to you. And I was laughing, and I heard my own laughter, and I thought, oh, there she is. There she is.
Welcome.
Thank you. That's that part of me that is whole no matter what. That's the part of me that's whole no matter what might be going on, no matter how many times my cousins ask me, how are you doing? I think that they had too much celebration and forgot that they had asked me that the previous 3 times. I was still whole no matter what was going on. And that's our theme this month, is being whole no matter what. And I love that title because most of us don't live as if we're whole. Most of us live as though we're projects. I have to do this. I'm working on that. I'm trying to become this, right? There's always something that needs fixing. I'll be whole when I lose 10 pounds. I'll be whole when I stop being anxious, or I'll be whole when I finally forgive. I'll be whole when I become more spiritual, right? We've been really good at turning ourselves into our most important projects. And while growth is beautiful, right? There is a subtle danger in that. The subtle danger is because we start to believe that our worth depends on becoming someone different. I better take these off so that I see better. Ernest Holmes wrote, our word does not restore wholeness, it reveals it. What will I tell myself today? How many times do we wake up in the morning and it's, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do that. Instead of that, wake up and say, how am I going to, what am I going to tell myself today? Who am I going to be in the world? When I worked in a very stressful tech job, when I was in go mode, I had to stop in the morning because I'd wake up thinking about work. Jenna's like, yeah. I'd wake up thinking about work. And instead, I'd have to wait. Hold on, brain. My eyes aren't even open yet. How am I going to be today? See, When we recognize that our word doesn't restore wholeness, that it reveals it, when we recognize it, that changes everything. We're creating wholeness. We're not creating wholeness, we're uncovering it. We're uncovering it. Mark Nepo writes something that I find incredibly freeing. He says, a flower never wishes it was a fish. And a fish never longs to be a tiger. Only human beings spend enormous amount of times trying to be someone else or something else. Isn't that true? Right? We're comparing ourselves constantly. We see what's in ads or on social media. Someone else has a perfect marriage. Someone else seems fearless. Someone else has that career or that body that we want. They have that relationship that we strive for. And when we do that to ourselves, we are telling ourselves there's something missing. But what if comparing our behind the scenes, but what if we're comparing our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel? I tell people this all the time. What you see on social media is the highlights. That's not the day-to-day life. That's not the day-to-day life. What goes on behind closed doors or what's going on in people's minds are not what you're seeing online. It's not what you're seeing in reality shows. It's not what you're seeing in talk shows. It's not what you're hearing on the radio. That is there to inspire, maybe, sometimes not. I don't know. When I was younger, it was the magazines, right? Oh, I have to look like this. I have to, have to have this kind of relationship. My hair has to be straight. I tried. I really tried. COVID went, I'm going to show you, right? So this week I noticed something while preparing this talk, because I had to do it a little early because I was training dog for kid, although she gave me time. She's been very generous with that. One part of me was super excited about the talk. And knowing that we were going to have guests that came in because it's the holiday weekend, and I love that. And then another part of me went, what if they don't like it? What if they don't like me? What if I wear the wrong thing? Or my curls aren't perfect? They're not. And another one said, this was this morning, maybe we should rewrite the talk. Right? Right? And then another one went, you're overthinking it. Relax, relax. Have you ever noticed this in your own lives? One mind, multiple voices, right? We all know this experience. One of them wants dessert. Another part of us wants the salad. One part wants to save money and the other part wants to just have the biggest, most amazing vacation ever. One part says, speak up, and the other part says, shh, quiet. Right? There's all these different voices going on in our minds, but which one is the real you? The answer is all of them. All of them. But none of them, not a single one of them, is the whole you. Richard Schwartz discovered something remarkable through decades of therapy. He stopped asking, what's wrong with you? And instead he began asking, what is the part trying to do for you? When he started asking that, everything changed. Because the angry part is usually trying to protect. The anxious part is trying to keep you safe. The perfectionist is trying to keep you from being rejected. And the people pleaser is trying to make sure that you feel loved. Even the inner critic often believes it's protecting you from disappointment. What if none of these parts were your enemies? What if instead they're simply working with outdated information? See, Ernest Holmes already knew this. Ernest Holmes wrote The accumulated experience of the whole human race is lodged in the subconscious. That means that many of our reactions aren't entirely personal. They're inherited, they're learned, they're conditioned, they're passed down. Oh my goodness, how many times have I done something and thought, oh, yep, there's my mother. Oh, yep, there's my dad. Oh, there's my grandpa, right? As children, we quickly learn what gets rewarded, right? Be quiet, be nice, don't cry, don't be too loud, and don't ask questions, and don't disappoint people. Little by little, parts of ourselves start to go underground. They start to hide, not because they're bad, but because they helped us to survive. Now, Paul writes in Romans 12:2, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Notice what he doesn't say. He doesn't say become someone else. He says renew your mind. See differently. Perceive differently. Transformation begins with perception. And science of mind has taught this for over 100 years. I think almost everyone has an inner critic. Mine occasionally likes to make surprise appearances. Hello, buddy. Right? Maybe yours does too. Mine sounds something like, you should have done better. You missed that. You'll never get it right. What were you thinking? Now, for years, I thought the answer was to silence it. Shh, stop talking. Fight it. You're wrong. Or just flat out ignore it, right? You can't talk to me, inner critic, right? But what if, instead of arguing with it, we became curious? What if I asked, what are you trying to protect me from? The answer is often, I don't want you to be embarrassed. Or I don't want you to fail. Or I don't want you to get hurt. See, suddenly then the critic isn't the enemy. The critic is just an exhausted protector. The critic is not the enemy, it's an exhausted protector. Now imagine a frightened child holding onto your leg, right? Would you yell, go away? No. Of course you wouldn't. You'd kneel down, you'd listen, you'd comfort. Why do we offer compassion to frightened children more than frightened parts of ourselves? Want to try something with me? Yeah? Okay. Close your eyes if that's comfortable, or just drop your gaze. And I want you to take a slow breath. Breathing in and out. Think of one part of yourself that you've struggled with. Maybe it's anxiety or impatience. Maybe it's fear or anger. It might be perfectionism. Just pick one. Now, instead of pushing it away, simply ask, what are you trying to do for me? And listen, don't analyze, just listen. What are you trying to do for me? And then ask, what do you need from me today? Take a breath. Don't analyze, just listen. And now silently say, thank you for trying to protect me. And notice what happens inside. When you're ready, go ahead and bring your awareness back into the room. What happened? Anybody want to share?
I got so relaxed.
You got really relaxed. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah.
My food indulger wants me to have fun.
Your food indulger wants you to have fun. Ah, that's a really good one. Anyone else? Yeah. It's amazing what will come, and you can do that on your own, right? Just ask. What are you trying to do for me? What do you need from me today? And then say thank you. What are you trying to do for me? What do you need from me today? And then say thank you. It's amazing. If you can remember these 3 steps and you're moving through your life and something overwhelms you, ground yourself, take a breath. You're all science and mind practitioners, right? You can do this. Just take a breath, ground yourself. All right, what's this about? What do you need me to know? What do you need from me right now? Thank you. Right? Now, this isn't permission to stay stuck, right? This isn't saying unhealthy behavior doesn't matter. It means that we stop beginning with shame. What a concept. Stop beginning with shame, because shame has never produced lasting transformation. Think about it. When's the last time you told somebody they were wrong and they actually changed what they were doing? When's the last time you got in an argument with somebody on over a chat or in an online forum, and you told them what the truth was, and they actually took your input and changed what they were thinking? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It means that when we stop beginning with shame, what happens is that love comes in, curiosity comes in, compassion shows up. Even when you're having a battle, not disagreeing with someone, tell me more. Don't say, what were you thinking? Tell me more. What's going on? Right? Ask the questions. You don't have to agree, but then it lowers the intensity. Right? It lowers the intensity. If there's somebody that believes in something absolutely opposite of what I believe in, I just say, really, tell me more. That's really interesting. Thank you for your input, right? That creates a safe place for me and for them. Now, Ernest Holmes reminds us the road to self-discovery often calls for clearing away of ignorance, fear, and isolation. We do not save that which was lost. We merely discover what needs to be found. Isn't that beautiful? We don't save what was lost. We discover what needs to be found. Nothing has gone missing. Nothing. We are simply remembering the truth of who we are. What if, well, no, imagine living this next week believing that there were no bad parts. Think you could do it? I have the realist over here. I agree. I'm gonna have moments, but I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna ask you to try as well. Imagine thanking your anxiety, listening to your fear and honoring your grief, welcoming your joy, right? Instead of saying, I wish I weren't like this, maybe say, thank you for getting me this far. And now let's walk into something new. Because wholeness isn't the absence of difficult parts. Wholeness is learning that every part belongs at the table. Not every part gets to drive, but every part gets to be loved. So this week, while you're making decisions, I want you to listen. For me, that means slow down. Right? Notice all the different voices, the different parts of you in your head. And notice the sensations in your body. Instead of choosing sides, become the loving presence that can hear them all of the parts. Because beneath every fearful voice, every anxious voice, every critical voice is something infinitely deeper. Your true self. Your Christ consciousness, the divine presence. The place that Ernest Holmes called the spiritual presence. That presence that has never, ever been broken. It's never been damaged. It's never been incomplete. It's always been whole. And so are you, my friends. Not someday, not after enough spiritual practice, not once you've fixed yourself. Now, whole, no matter what. Let's pray, shall we? There is one infinite life, one divine presence, expressing itself in, through, and as all creation. And I recognize that this presence lives fully within each and every one of us. There has never been a moment where we have been separate from it, never a time when it has been less than whole. And today I release every belief that tells me that I am broken or unworthy or incomplete. I embrace every part of my human experience, knowing that it has carried me to this moment. And each can now rest in the love and light of the divine. I welcome compassion where there's been judgment, curiosity where there's been fear, and acceptance where there has been resistance. I remember that my true nature is love itself. I remember that I am whole. I remember that nothing needs to be added or taken away from the divine expression of that I am. This week I walk through life with a gentleness towards myself and towards others, seeing the sacredness in every encounter and the wholeness that has always been present. I know all of this for myself, just as I know all of this for each one of you. We are absolutely whole, perfect, right now. And I'm with a grateful heart, I just release this word into the law, knowing that it is already fulfilled. And together we say, and so it is.